Hey guys, so today I'm going to talk about what I have learned about weight loss and maintenance. I struggled with my weight my whole life. I mean, even from when I was a child, I reached a point that I started gaining weight and just gaining more weight. And at one point, I was morbidly obese, I guess you would say, when I was like in junior high school. And then when I got to high school, I just made up my mind that, I didn't want to be fat anymore and I lost the weight. But throughout different times in my life, usually during times of stress or crisis of some kind, I would gain the weight back. Then I would just make up my mind that I wanted to lose it again and I would lose it. So, yo yo dieting, so bad for you. Puts a strain on your heart, your thyroid, all your internal organs. Not good at all. But now I feel like I have finally reached a weight that I'm comfortable with, and I want to stay at this weight. When I weighed myself this morning, I was 129, and I go back and forth between like 128, 129, 130, 131. I want to stay within that range. So anyway, some of the things that I have learned is I had to go get something that I wanted to show you that I'm going to talk about. Losing weight is actually the easy part. It's maintaining it that's the hard part because we have a tendency to fall back into our old habits. You have to find a way of eating that works for you and just stay with it. And actually, I'm at a point now where it's hard for me not to go too thin because I've gotten so good at eating efficiently that I have a tendency to go too low. And one thing I've realized is that there are certain foods that will have a tendency to make you gain weight. So be very careful how many things you eat in the grain category. Bread, rice, pasta, that kind of stuff will put weight on you faster than anything else. And that's one of the things that people that do a keto diet, I don't do a keto diet. That's not how I lost weight. But that's what they always tell you, and it's true. Anything in the grain category is going to put weight on you faster than anything. Yesterday, when I got on the scale and weighed myself, I was 128, and I was like, oh, this is, I don't want to get too skinny. So what I did was I normally have salad with a protein for my lunch. So I turned the protein into a sandwich and I put the fish between two pieces of bread and had a fish sandwich and a salad. And then sure enough, this morning got on the scale, 129. It works every time. So be very careful how much you eat in the grain category. Now, I don't feel like keto is a healthy, balanced diet, but if that's something you want to do, that's up to you. My grain of choice is cereal. I love cereal. So I have a bowl of cereal every morning, and that's usually the only grain I eat all day long. I put fruit in it. I love blueberries. Blueberries are my favorite fruit in the world, but I also eat a banana with it because I'm maintaining my weight. I'm not trying to lose weight. So I wouldn't recommend doing a double fruit if you're trying to lose weight. But that's what I have for breakfast every single morning. Now, something like that isn't going to hold you as well because there isn't a ton of protein in that meal. I mean, there's some because the milk that you put in the cereal combined, the milk combined with the grain does form a complete protein, but it's just not going to, I don't know, something about it, it's not going to hold you as well. Now, I have to be careful what cereal I eat because since I've learned about oxalates, now I completely avoid certain kinds of cereal that I used to eat before. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I did a whole video about oxalates and why they are so dangerous, and things in your diet that might be giving you health problems or sabotaging you in a lot of different ways. But anyways, so yeah, be very careful with grains. Now, the other thing I want to talk about is serving size. I feel like most people don't even know what a serving size is. They never pay attention to that. I feel like you can eat a lot of things, different kinds of foods, but you just have to be careful about serving size. When you go to a restaurant, the amount of food that they give you is not normal at all. That is not how much food you should be eating at a meal. I feel like most restaurants give you way too much. It's crazy. And they do that because I guess they think that's what people want. But let me give you an idea of what I'm talking about now. Now that I am the weight that I want to be, no food is off limits completely to me except for things that are high in oxalates. So I have started making my own ice cream, not with a machine, but just on top of the stove and in a bowl. And I would film it for you, but I haven't figured out a good way to do that as far as like how am I going to be doing that and filming it at the same time. And I was going to ask my husband to film it for me while I make it, but it's still very awkward because then he can't quite get the camera to be where it needs to be, and I can't use a tripod or anything because, again, I can't keep, how am I going to shift the camera back and forth and keep doing what I'm doing while I'm making it? So it's very hard to film those kind of videos. I really admire people that do cooking videos because it's a bugger to try to film those. But anyways, I make my own ice cream because most of the ice cream that you buy at the store has got a lot of garbage ingredients in it. Read your labels, know what's healthy, what's not healthy, and there are very few companies that are just using like pure ingredients without a lot of chemicals, additives, artificial colorings, you know, that sort of thing. So back to what I was talking about with serving size. This is a serving size. These are tiny little containers, Sistema is the brand. And I found these in the organization section at Walmart, and it actually looks big on camera, but this is tiny. Does it even say how much? And these are BPA free. Okay, 4.4 ounces, right? So half a cup. Half a cup is a serving size. If you're eating more than that of ice cream, you're never gonna not have a weight problem because that is a serving size and you should not eat more than that. So I make a batch of ice cream. I pour the ice cream into these little containers, pop them in the freezer, and I eat one of these every day, and I do not have any trouble maintaining my weight because that's my treat for the day. I have this thing about like having dessert after every meal. And so I'll have like a salad with protein for my lunch, and then I'll have some ice cream. And then for supper, I'll also have salad with a different kind of protein so that it doesn't get boring. I'm really into salad these days, but it doesn't have to be salad. It can be vegetable. But again, you know, I'm very careful now about what vegetables I eat because of oxalates. But I'm just going through a salad phase right now, so I'll have my other half of my salad that I started in at lunchtime with a different kind of protein, and I do fish, I do chicken, I do egg bites, you know, different, I like to switch up the protein. And then for my dessert or treat after my supper meal, I'll usually just have an apple. Sometimes I'll even peel and cut up the apple and just put a little bit of plain non-fat yogurt mixed with some vanilla, but sometimes I just eat the apple by itself. But that's pretty much what I eat every single day. I feel like if you stick to what you know works for you, it works out good. Um, but another thing that I think has made a difference is every day I take a tablespoon of raw apple cider vinegar and stir it into a large glass of water and drink that. Now, the first time I ever tried that, it was like, oh my God, how do people do this? This is really rough. It's very acidic, so it's kind of hard to get used to that, but you do. You do get used to it over time. And what's weird is it's an acid that turns your body alkaline. So it it's kind of crazy how that works, but I find it very soothing on my stomach. It doesn't, because I have a very sensitive stomach and I have to be careful what I eat. A lot of things bother my stomach. And I thought, oh my God, this is going to kill me, because it's acid, it's acetic acid. But no, it actually makes my stomach feel better. And it's because it's alkalining my body. Um, some people do lemon juice instead of the apple cider vinegar, but I don't know. I find it difficult to do that because I always want to put sugar in it, and I try to be careful how much sugar I'm having every day. The amount of sugar that's in this ice cream is a lot. So I don't want to be doing tons of sugar at every meal or even for the things, like the apple cider vinegar drink. I don't drink soda, or I don't, if I have coffee, I don't put sugar in my coffee. I also don't put cream because there's cream in the ice cream, obviously. So, yeah, I try to be careful about how much like fat and everything that I have. I do, I don't eat like fat free or anything like that, far from it. But yeah, just be careful about everything. But try to make sure that you get vegetables, protein. I'm really fascinated with dairy now because I've always loved dairy, but now I realize that dairy can negate the bad effects of oxalates to a certain degree. So if you have things that are low to moderate in oxalates, it can actually like cancel it out. It's amazing. I'm still reading that book that I told you about before, and the the ways that high oxalates can have a negative effect on your body is amazing. Um, yeah. Anyways, these are some of the things that have helped me. But the other thing is you got to move. You've got to get a minimum of 30 minutes exercise every single day, one way or another. Like, for example, we're going into a heat wave starting today. So I'm going to walk on a treadmill for 30 minutes. But if I didn't have access to a treadmill, you can go to the mall and walk around at the mall where it's air conditioned, in other words, or just, go to a very large store like Walmart, Target, Home Depot, Lowe's, someplace that's really big and just walk around for 30 minutes. There's options out there. Um, but when it's not a heat wave and it's more comfortable outside, I definitely prefer to walk outside. I like to listen to the birds and watch the animals and stuff. We have a lot of rabbits where I live and I get such a kick out of them. They're so cute. But yeah, 30 minutes minimum. You've got to get that blood flowing because that's what caused my stroke. It was a blood clot that went to my brain. And so if your circulation isn't good, it's going to cause all kinds of problems. So yeah, get your body moving every day. 30 minutes is good. If you can do more than that, great. If I have a lot of energy, sometimes I'll even go for 2 walks a day. But it just depends on how much energy I have because I'm kind of a low energy person. Um, and I've cut way down on the amount of coffee that I used to drink. At first, I wasn't drinking any at all. I got myself off of it completely, but Now I just have 1 cup in the morning just to kind of get going. So yeah, hopefully something that I said is helpful to you, but maintenance is really about finding a lifestyle and a way of eating that works for you and trying to stick to that and not falling back into your old habits. So thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video and you found it helpful, you know what to do, and I'll see you next time. Bye.